Assalamu alaikum. My name is Saqib Ali, and this is my daughter Sophia Ali.
Assalamu alaikum.
I want to send my greetings to all the attendees of the 2015 Muslim Youth Leadership Conference in Annapolis. I think it's a great idea, and I'm so glad you guys were all able to attend. I live in Gaithersburg, Maryland, which is outside of Washington, D.C. In 2006, I ran for the House of Delegates in Maryland, and I was elected as the first Muslim delegate, or actually first Muslim elected official in Maryland. I spent 4 years in the House of Delegates, and then I ran for the state Senate. I didn't make it to the state Senate, but I had a very good experience in the House of Delegates, and I still remain involved in lots of issues having to do with my community. I think that it's really important that all the youth of Maryland, of all races, of all religions, especially Muslims, feel that they can participate in our democracy and feel that they can actually run for public office and get elected. To run for some of these local offices is not actually that hard. And if someone spends a lot of time and a lot of effort and is very determined and is, reasonably confident, they can win these offices. And so I urge, as all of you are sitting in Annapolis today, looking at how the Capitol works and how legislation is passed in Maryland, I urge you to all consider at some time in your future whether you yourself would be a good candidate to run for public office and become a legislator. What got me first interested in running for public office is just that I was very aware of the events that were happening around me, around the world. I was a news junkie, and I was active in my community. I was always involved in local issues, environmental issues, traffic issues in my neighborhood. So people knew who I was, and I was well known sort of in the larger community. My name would sometimes appear in the local newspaper, etc. After being involved for so long in the community and in Democratic Party politics, I was very active in local Montgomery County Democratic campaigns for other politicians. I decided that there is no reason why I couldn't try running for public office to see if I could also get elected. What I found was that in the Muslim community, we had some of the best, most successful lawyers, doctors, engineers, scientists, but we didn't have very many people who were involved in the local political scene. So I started talking to other people in the community, in the Muslim community, and in the wider community, and making the case that we needed more diversity, we needed more inclusiveness, and we needed a voice to represent this underserved community. And so when I ran for public office, lots and lots of local Muslims came to me and said, hey, we think this is a really good idea. We think it's a good example for our kids, and we hope you win. And so they supported me, and with all their support and the support of the wider community and a good grasp and understanding of political issues, I was able to win a seat in the Maryland House of Delegates in 2006. While I was there, I accomplished a lot of things. One of the most significant things that I accomplished was that I increased transparency in Maryland state government. One of the things that I found when I went to Annapolis was that the votes that the legislators take, there's two kinds of votes they take, or there's more than two kinds, but the main kinds of votes they take are on the floor of the chambers, so on the floor of the House or the floor of the Senate, and in the committees. All sets of those votes were public. Anybody from the public could access those votes by going to Annapolis and requesting a piece of paper from the committee staff. But it was difficult for most people. But only the floor votes were posted on the internet. The votes that were taken in committee, which were the vast majority of votes, were never posted publicly on the internet. So I introduced a bill called the Legislative Sunshine Act to make sure that we would post all votes in the committees, post them publicly on the internet as soon as they're taken. And so that reform was passed, and now anyone in Maryland or around the world can go look and see how their legislators are voting in committee. That's because of my work, and that's the most significant contribution I made. One of the things that I feel really strongly about, and I make no apologies for it, is being active in political parties. I'm a Democrat, I'm a liberal Democrat, and I think it's very important, it's essential for members of the Muslim community to be involved in the Democratic Party at the local level and higher. I think it's important for all young people to go out and join campaigns of Democratic public officials or candidates running for public office and help them get elected. Because in this way you can learn how to run a campaign, and you can learn how the skills that are required, and there are a lot of skills, and use those skills later on for yourself. But also by campaigning for Democratic candidates, that's how people get well known in the Democratic Party, and they can use that later on as a springboard to run for political office themselves or to have influence in that party. You can look at some of the highest leaders of the Democratic Party, from Barack Obama to Elizabeth Warren to other people around the country, and Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. One of the first things all these people have done was they went and volunteered at their local Democratic Party office and said, how can I help? How can I be a good Democrat? How can I help other Democrats get elected? And that process, after doing that for many months and years, then people start rising up through the party that way. So that's an important thing to do.